Hi everyone, it's Tish with Naptime Creations. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this pretty Peruvian pink opal geode, so let's jump in and get started. And I wanted to show you some of the supplies I'm going to be using today. Laura at Laura's Art Corner was kind enough to send me all of these goodies to try. The golden pebbles are one of my favorite things. She sent me pink velvet pigment by Laura's, pink champagne pigment by Laura's, white sand epoxy paste, these gorgeous Peruvian pink tumbled opals, and opal is my birthstone, so I was really excited to give these a try in my geode. I've never really made one of these before, you guys, so this is going to be an experience for both of us. She also sent me some clear fire glass and some clear quartz. I didn't end up using the quartz, but I am going to be using that in a future project, and I wanted to include some screenshots of the products in her store, so be sure to go check out her store down below in the description for all your art supplies, your pigments and all that good stuff. I'll link it down below, and go check out her channel too. She's really close to 1,000 subscribers, so I'm trying to get her up to that 1,000 subscribers, so go subscribe if you're not already. So here is my substrate. I'm working on a 12-inch vinyl record, and I'm just going to show you really quickly how I add my 3D elements to my geode. What I did was put a little circle of hot glue, and what you can do is kind of outline the areas you want to do with a pencil, because it won't end up showing up in your art, but that will kind of give you a guideline. I didn't do that. I just went ahead and kind of went with it. And I went in with that clear fire glass, as you can see. One thing about the hot glue is it does give you some strings, so make sure you pull those off as much as you can as you're going along doing your 3D embellishments. And to prep this record, what I did was took it outside on a nice day, sprayed it with some pink spray paint, and then I ended up going over it after the spray paint was dry with some Mod Podge, and then I covered that with an iridescent glitter. I ended up having to do that because my layer of spray paint wasn't even, but the glitter isn't a necessary step because it doesn't even end up showing up on my art anyway, but I had to do that because I had a lot of patchiness with my spray paint, and then, my nozzle got clogged on my spray paint, and everything's closed right now because of the coronavirus. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna try to get creative and make it work. And I ended up going around the rim of my vinyl record with a posca gold pen. So that's that gold you're seeing there. So I have all my fire glass down. Now what I'm going to do is just take a little line of hot glue here, go around that, and place some of the gold pebbles down. These gold pebbles are awesome. They're really great for geodes because a lot of times on geodes I'll see people go in and paint their stones gold with the gold gilding paint or the liquid gold leaf, and if you get these pebbles, then you don't really need to do that step. It actually saves you a lot of time, and they're really pretty too. So I'm just going to line this, and then also I'm going to pick some of my favorite pink opals and kind of just place those on top of my clear fire glass and glue those down as well. So this is what it's looking like after I got all my stones and pebbles down. So now we are going to jump in and resin. I wanted to show you guys what the pigments look like. This one here's the pink velvet. It's a really pretty pink. The pink champagne's gorgeous too. It's a really pretty pearlescent mica powder. It's got a really nice shine. And the white sand's a great opaque cream color. And I'm also going to be using Suncatcher. It's one of my favorite pigments by Laura's. It's got a really pretty sparkle and a gold undertone. And I'm also going to be using my Molten Gold Epoxy Paste by Laura's. But I wanted to show you guys really quickly too. Sometimes people say they don't like using epoxy paste because it can harden, but that's really no big deal. All you have to do is go in with your heat gun. I like to go in on high, hit it with your heat gun for a few seconds, and you can see it kind of just comes back to liquid form on the top. Just give it a good stir, and you can keep using it. It's still good even if it does get hard. That's just something that can happen with some epoxy paste, but it's no big deal. Just hit it with your heat gun, scrape a little bit off the top, and then add it to your resin, and you're ready to go. So the resin I'm going to be using today is the Clearcast 7050 resin from the Epoxy Resin store. It's a 2-to-1 ratio resin. I went ahead and mixed it up off camera camera along with my pigments, just to save time because this video is a little bit of a longer video. But you can see I'm just adding the gold here to my cup, and then I will pour in my clear resin and mix it all up, and it's good to go. So now we're ready to pour. I'm going to go in with the white sand color first, and I was trying to just go for like lines. I know geodes have a lot of lines, and I wasn't planning on using my heat gun very much on this piece either. And now I'm going in with that pretty pink champagne right around the white sand color, just basically outlining the little stone areas. And then I'm going to go in with the white sand again. Now I'm going to add some of the pink velvet just in these areas here. It's a really pretty, almost I would say magenta color. It's a really, really nice, pretty pink. And then I'm going to go in and kind of just use my stir stick and spread out that resin. You know, when you heat your resin, it's going to kind of level out and spread out too. So I was trying not to use too much resin because I didn't want a bunch of it to start running off onto my table. And now I'm going to go in with the molten gold. Just do some gold highlights in some sections here. And I'm just going to add some sun catcher. This sun catcher, you guys, it's really pretty pigment. It's great on either a light background or a dark background. It's super sparkly and it's got a really nice golden undertone. It's one of my favorite pigments by Laura. But definitely check out the Glitz and Glam pigments if you like sparkle, because you'll definitely love these Glitz and Glam pigments. And I apologize in advance. My head comes into frame quite a bit here. I wasn't really paying attention. I was just focusing on the art because, like I said, I never made one of these before. So I was a little bit nervous. I was like, oh, I hope this turns out pretty, but ended up turning out really nice in the end, in my opinion. So what I'm doing here is just going with my little stir stick and kind of making waves and just blending those colors together and breaking up those harsh lines from where I had poured the different colors. Just kind of doing some blending there with that stir stick, adding a little bit more gold and kind of just blending it out so it doesn't, there's no real harsh lines. And I'm just taking some of the runoff and going around the edge here. The little sections where I have my stones, didn't really pour any resin there, so those edges were bare. So I'm just going around and making sure that those get complete coverage as well. I'm going to hit it with my heat gun a little bit just to kind of blend it and pop bubbles, but I'm not going to add too much heat. I was just going in with a little tiny bit of heat. I decided to add some more of that white sand right here and some more molten gold, and I was really happy I did because it ended up turning out really nice. And that's it. I'm going to hit it with my heat gun one more time to pop any bubbles, cover it up with the upside down Rubbermaid storage container so no dust or debris gets in there while it's drying. And then tomorrow what I'm going to do is kind of outline the gold pebble areas with some gold Posca pens. I got them off Amazon. I'll link all the materials I used down below in the description. Then let that dry for a few hours and go in and do a clear top coat. I cut the clear top coat part out of this video just because it was getting a little bit long, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Just go in with clear resin and make sure all the stones are nice and covered and everything has a nice even coat of resin. But if you're new to resin and you want to see step by step how to do a clear top coat, I have a dedicated tutorial for that. I will link that down below in the description and at the end card screen of this video. Just click it and it'll take you straight to that video if you want to see how to do a clear top coat. But what do you guys think about this one? I think it turned out really pretty. I'm excited to make more geodes in the future, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and be sure to go check out Laura's Art Corner for all of your supplies, and I'll link everything down below in the description. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys are all doing good, and I will see you guys on Friday for another video. Bye!